Okay, and we are back. So I've gone all the way around, and this is what I have now. And as you can see, it's not as quite, a lot bigger than this other one. So, but we're going to fix that right now. And we're going to start. There I am. So we're going to start by going along the inside. And I'm going to pick up my 15-0. I'm just going to go along the inside edge and fill in those gaps. And when I get to the end, I'm going to circle around here by going to this right angle. Down and under, and if you can see, I went under that turquoise bead and I'm coming out the next pink bead, going in the other direction. I'm going to start picking up again. One thing I love about this design, you can jazz it up however you want. This is just my take on it. Okay, so again we're going to do our little right angle to turn around. And under. And down the next side. Tomorrow I am going to be out of town for the day. I have some appointments I have to go to. And I won't be able to do any beading tomorrow. Although I will be doing some tatting. If you follow this channel, you'll see that I have some tatting videos up, and I'm hoping to do more of those this year. Now that the holidays are behind us, for now, till about June, July, we start gearing up again. At least for us crafters, because it does take time for us to do our thing so that they are ready in time for the holidays. Okay, so we're almost all the way around on this side. There's one side. Now what I'm going to do is cross over and get into position. You want that 15-0. And this is going to help shrink it down. So this part kind of goes fairly quickly. In fact, I think the rest of the earring goes fairly quickly. The longest part is doing that right angle weave. Okay, so I need to do my turn. And when I hear my dogs, I hear their little noses sniffing, which means it is getting close to dinner time. Yep, they've got eyeballs on me. What's the matter, buddy? You hungry? I'll know it's time when my other one, my female, she'll come and stand up on my leg and just kind of look at me like, come on, it's time to feed us. And she will get very persistent. In fact, here she comes. I just heard her. She must have known I was talking about her. Hey Josie, did you hear me talking about you? You gonna look at me with those big blue eyes, those big brown eyes? Here guys, I will show you what I deal with. We want dinner, Mom. You guys hungry? You ready for dinner? All right. I finish this up. We'll go have dinner, okay? So, those are my two little buddies, pals, guard dogs. And it's going to look a little wonky here for a minute. But once we get the outside edge done, it'll straighten out. And you kind of start pulling it tight. You can see how it's starting to shrink down. And when we do the outside edge, it'll do that even more. Here she comes. Hi, Josie. I know. We're going to have dinner here in a minute. inside. I'm gonna pull that tight. It's gonna be still kind of wonky, but you can see he's starting to shrink down. And once we do that, we're going to do this to the outside too. This will get even more compressed. So that's what we have so far. That's one side, that's the other side, and we're getting there. So I will be right back. I've got these eyeballs that are staring at me that want their dinner. So I will be right back and we will continue on. Okay guys, let's finish this guy off. So I've gone all the way around the outside and the inside with the turquoise 15-0s on both, and I've done that on both sides. So now I'm just going to reposition myself, and I want to get up. Let's see, which way am I going? I guess we'll go. Yeah, I want to get up here. I want to get up here where my tail is, so that we can add our crystals and our dangles. So let's see, I'm coming out of there. And this is going to get tricky because this is kind of tight. So I'm just going to go like so. I can get where I want to be. I'm actually going to go through that top bead right there in the center. And now, as best as I can, I want to drop down so that I'm coming out, and it's going to be hard to see. I want to come out through the center right there. And let's see how I did the other one. I'm going to pick up one of the small rondelles. I forgot what we said this was, 8mm. Okay. Did I do a seed bead on the bottom? And then a silver 15-0 for the bottom. And so that's what I have on my needle. And I'm going to come out the center on the bottom, as close to it as I possibly can. That'll work. Okay, I'm going to pull him in. I'm going to go through that. Oh, I'm not even in camera. So I'm coming out the bottom here. I'm going to go through that center bead on the bottom. And I'm going to go right back up. I want to secure him. Let's see. Go through this side. And this gets tricky, and there we go. Okay, got through that bead, that bead. There we go. Now, I'm just going to tie him off. Let's see. Sorry guys, I keep going out of frame. Oops. There we go. Okay. And we're going to go around one more time. If I can get it to cooperate. There we go. I'm going to push that other bead out of the way. Oh, I hear noses in here. What are you doing, Brody? I have to keep an extra eye on my dogs today because it is raining here and these two don't like to get their feet wet. So getting them to go out to do their business becomes somewhat of a challenge. So I'm constantly having to watch them. So when I hear sniffy noses, it makes me nervous. Okay. So there we go. And I think I'm going to go back up this side. And maybe I'll go. I'm just kind of doing some thread passes to wear out my thread, and then that was it right there. This guy in the center is not going to go anywhere. So there we go. In the coat. So I'm actually going to be right back. Okay, so we are pretty much done with, yeah, we're done with our 15 O's in this color. So I'm going to just put these away. Okay. I'm going to slide these guys on in. And these guys. That's our backing. And these threads are not long enough for me to work with. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some thread. And I'm going to add about 2.5 feet. Where are my cutters? Okay. And then we gotta weave him in. Awesome. Okay. So let's see here. Brilliant. So I just tied a knot on to my existing thread to add my new piece. This guy's not going to cooperate. Get out of my way. There we go. And then I just pulled the knot into my beadwork, and I'm simply working my way back up to the top. And then we can add the last of our beads. Okay. So when we're all done here, I will work those tails in. But for now, I'm going to hold them out of the way. Okay. So I want to be going through that center bead because he's going to be the one that anchors it. And we're going to pick up, let's see if I remember. Yeah. We're going to pick up one of our crystals, one of our 6mm crystals, and one of our 4mm crystals. I'm also going to be picking up, if I remember, let's see, 4, 5 of my 1, 2, 3, plus my backing, 5. Okay. And then, let's see if I remember. I don't remember how I did this. Okay. So we have our stuff strung on here, and I'm going to secure it with my finger. I'm going to go back down and push him out of the way for a second. I'm going to go back down the first seed bead plus the crystals to secure that on there. Okay. Then I'm going to come in through the other side of that top bead, and I'm going to now work my way back down to the bottom so that we can add in our dangles, and then we'll be done with this project. Because after that, all we'll have to do is tie our threads off and we will be done. So I'm going to work my way down the side. Oops. This is where it gets tricky. And when we come back up, we will be reinforcing this, but not yet. Okay. And let's see. I'm going to be coming out there. So I want my needle to be coming out that seed bead that's right there. Oh, awesome. It worked. Actually, I'm going to back it up one. There we go. Okay. And I'm going to go through that center bead, and we're going to pick up an 11-0, a crystal, an 11-0, a crystal, and another 11-0, and a crystal, and I do actually need one of my 15-0s. Thought I was done with them, but I'm not. So we need one, we got our dangle in there. And you don't want to pull this too tight, otherwise, you don't want to pull this too tight, otherwise it's going to make this dangle tight and he won't hang right. So you're coming out of the little 15-0 that you added. I'm going to skip that bead and I'm going to go back up through all the others. Like so. Oops, sorry about that. I bumped the camera. And then if this happens, like it does, and it will, you just hold on to that last bead and then pull it up to your work. But remember, not too tight, otherwise he won't hang right. Okay. And again, I'm going to come out through that opposite side. Okay. And we're going to move down to the very bottom. Okay. I almost popped myself with the needle. And we're going to go down through that guy on the bottom to add our bottom dangle. And he is an 11-0, one of the small rondelles, another 11-0, another small rondelle, another 11-0, the big rondelle, and one of our 15-0 turquoise seed beads. And we'll do the same thing. Pull them up to our work. We're going to skip that bead, the seed bead on the end, go back up through everybody else. Okay. And pull him up to your work. Again, not too tight. And we're coming out of that side. So I'm going to go through the other side. Okay. Awesome. Okay, and now we're going to go up to that bead right there. Come on. No. This is part of the problem why. Come on. There we go. Trying to do that so that the needle doesn't come flying out and go up under my fingernail, because that is really painful. No thank you. I don't care to do that to myself. Or anyone else for that matter. I do not like to inflict pain upon people. Okay, so went through the center bead. And we're just going to add our last little dangle here. So you should only have 3 of these rondelles left. 1, 2, 3. Pick up our last turquoise 15-0. Line up through all of our beads. Okay. Coming on that side, so I'm going to come in through the other side to anchor him. Not pulling too tight. We really want them to hang. And now I'm just going to continue on up the side here to get back up to our top part. Oops. There we go. Okay. Oops, see, I pulled too tight. Don't. There we go. Don't pull too tight. I mean, you want him secure, but you don't want him rigid. Because he's a dangle. You want him to dangle. Oh, come on. Ouch. Oh, my dogs are clever. My desk used to sit over in front of, there's a big window in my craft room. And my desk used to sit over there because it had really good lighting. But my dogs are watchdogs by nature. That is their job. They are my watchdogs. And so they like to sit in the window while I was having to share my workspace with them, which they only wanted to sit there when I was sitting here working. So to compromise, I moved my husband has a captain's bed that he grew up with, and we just use it as a guest bed now. So we moved the captain's bed, which, if you're not familiar with what one of those are, it's the bed frame has the dresser that's built in underneath it, and then the mattress sits on top. And my dogs, that became the dog's bed, so that they can lay and stare out the window while I'm working. So I had to move my desk away from the wall, or from the window. And I'm going to go up through here just to reinforce this. And yes, those extra threads are driving me crazy, but we're about to get rid of them. Okay, so now I'm up here. I need to go up through all of these seed beads. Through my earring backing. Down the other side. Oop. Down the other side. Where are we at? And through the center. Okay. So now, all we have to do now is just tie this guy off, which is what I'm going to do right here. Oops, sorry. Bumped that camera again. And I'm going to try and get in there. I might not be able to. We might have done too many thread passes. Yeah, I don't know that I can get back in there. Oh, I did. Okay. need to bust out my magnifying lenses. Uh-oh. There we go. Hang on, guys. I'll be right there in a second. My thread. Oh, much better. And right now I am just tying a double knot here on this thread. There we go. Uh-oh. I don't like that. My lights just flickered. I'm gonna get mad if the power goes out. Okay. We are trimming him off. As soon as I find my trimmers. Right there. Okay. One done. Okay, and another thing I like to do when my threads get too short for me to go through the beadwork, but there's still quite a bit there. I know you can't see it, not even against my hand. No, you can't really see it, but I've still got that much thread, and it's a little more than I'm willing to part with. So what I do is I'll wiggle my needle through my beadwork, but I won't put the eye through it quite yet. Then I'll thread my needle. And I'm doing this with no glasses whatsoever. I guess my eyesight can't be that bad. And then I'll pull it through, and then I'll snip it off. That was a trick that I learned from another lady that I watch on YouTube. And okay, so we're down to, we've got 2 left. Nope, I didn't catch all the beads there. There we go. Okay. Maybe I will put my glasses on. Let's see. So I'm actually working on a couple of excuse me, of other projects. I've got a tatting one that I'm working on. Actually, I've got two. Come on, guys. There we go. Okay, he's done. And we just have this guy, the shortest of them. And we're going to go right down this side right here. Actually, you know what? We're going to go this way. Maybe. Okay. Last little thread. Done. Okay. The shorter ones are harder to clip. So there we are. We've got a pair of earrings. Let's see, we'll put them through here. And if you follow me on Facebook, on my fan page on Facebook, you would have seen that I was running a contest. There we go, there they are. They're all done. So cute. I was running a contest on my Facebook page, and I needed help naming these because I couldn't think of a name for them. And I got a pretty good response, but I again had a hard time choosing because of everyone's creativity. So what I decided on doing was combining, I think it was 3 of them that I saw. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to combine the name, as you'll see, as you've seen in the title. And because it was a joint effort, I'll be sending each of the people a pair of these earrings. So I can send you this color. If there's another color palette that you would prefer, I can do that too.